fundamentally, I was, drinking coffee in the morning, reading through, doom scrolling probably is the right word for it. And and then I was like, oh my God, there's just way too much wellness stuff. I'm not sure if that's the algorithm that's kind of read into my, state of being, or whether everybody is just commercializing everything through this lens of wellness. And I've been doing this stuff a long time. I worked for Six Senses for like 10 years. And that company was really, truly a pioneer in wellness hospitality. And so I can kind of see through the real stuff
Mm-hmm.
and the stuff that's a bit wonky. And I've seen a lot of stuff where you can claim something, but that doesn't make it necessarily true. And in greenwashing, we saw this throughout a very long period of time in the hospitality industry, which was that, people would make nefarious sustainability claims. Now we're seeing the same thing with wellness. Basically, you can take a traditional box on the beach, Marriott hotel room, stick a couple of yoga mats in it and a smelly candle and stick a crystal in the corner. It's a wellness suite, right? So I find that kind of annoying because it's kind of superficial and it's sort of misleading. You could have a volatile, the whole room could be full of toxic adhesives and volatile organic compounds. You could literally be getting cancer whilst you got your drinking your herbal tea. So I just put up this post as a bit of a joke on that. But also on a more serious note, there is a kind of real way of being able to create healthy and actually kind of enriching environments. And that is possible. But to do that, you need to really start from the get-go. You need to have the right ethical framework in place. You need to have the right site. You need to have the right partners. You need to understand, you all need to be aligned with the ethos of the project. You need the right investors, et cetera, et cetera. And then you need the right materials and the right design approach to create something that isn't a toxic built environment. Often we don't realize that many of the places in which we operate, are unhealthy. When you get into a new car and you get that delicious smell of new car, that's basically volatile organic compounds, which are really not good for your brain, and might might affect the performance of your future child's maths exams. There is this real thing of we now have the scientific research, neurological studies on landscape design and its impact on your cognitive functions and your brain health. We have real information, reliable scientific data to support a lot of these ideas and
Mm-hmm.
methods. And I think, we should be using them. And the problem with people well washing is that is actually detrimental to the companies and people who are doing the hard work and trying to do the real projects. And that's where I suppose I was sounded like a little bit of a kind of whinging person, but that was probably, the root of that slightly frustrated post.